So tonight, this evening, I am going to make for you this cute little, really easy to make and don't need a whole lot of materials. Flowers, they're painted newspaper flowers. So to start, I painted newspapers. I did it both with watercolors, and any kind of paint you're going to have to water it down a lot, so you want to be able to see the print through the paint, because that's the whole idea, that it's a little bit literary. So I've painted the newspapers. I just laid them out on my table. They dried out overnight, and then I made 3 different templates. It's like a glass, a bowl, and a plate, for 3 different sizes for the petals. Cut out the circles, and do this one. And I'm doing, you can double and quadruple up your newspapers. I painted, notice I painted the same color and let them dry. Kind of, newspaper dries fast. So I left it together to have more room. And then, like this sheet, this was this color on the side, and it bled through a little bit, but that's okay, because you can still read it if you wanted to. So this is a good way to upcycle your recyclables. So here I would have two of these. And an ad. I think the ad I would put on the bottom. So a bunch of different colors. Put a nice yellow one on top. This one looks good too. You don't have to be crazy neat about this. It's not precise. Because a lot of the stuff we're doing is just kind of like prepping for the holidays. Oh goodness, you can make these red and green. You can make these all fall colors. You could go nuts with the colors and make them really different. So then, once I had all my circles, a bunch of circles, 3 different sizes, I cut them into the petal shapes like this. So to do that, the easiest way I found to do it is to fold it in half and then cut it, and again, not precise, cut off your ends like that, and pretty much about the same thing on this side. And then you can kind of, being right-handed, I'm going to cut right to left. So kind of go in, kind of come out. And then, try to get a little bit rounded there. Sometimes it's a little, see, not quite what I want. Sometimes they're looking like butterflies. But anyways, when you put them together, you're going to kind of overlap them in a different way. So that's, you don't notice anything about it being precise or not. So let's see, I've got a bunch already ready to go here. The directions, okay, also buttons, larger buttons. I have a medium button that I might try to, I'll use, and the directions I read called for floral wire, and of course I don't have any, so I used, you know, those ties that are always, when you buy something new, an electronic or whatever, all the ties that come with it, those work if you have a big enough button. I used a couple of these on one of these, I just crisscrossed it in the middle, and then it's right there on the back. So we can use those. I found a bunch. We tend to save these because we saved everything. And I found a bunch in the drawer I'm going to use. So I have cut 3 cut. Where are my small ones? Where did my small ones go? Where's my small ones? Haha, small ones. Small, medium. We're going to do, I think the directions called green, red, and green. Let's go. Christmas seed. 2 small ones. 3 medium-sized ones. Picking colors. Picking colors. Let's go with the blue. Or the green. Green, you know what? Let's do orange. So we've got these going. What do I have here? How about some pink? Yes. Pink. And we've got more pink. Pink on the side, green. Probably the same thing. Need some orange. Let's cut out some orange, I think. Medium. Nice wordy part. We want this to look a little literary, right? I mean, I do have some funny papers, which gives a little different perspective and different color through the color, because that's about you're gonna, aside from pads, which I really don't want, most of the color is gonna come from the paint, and little spots of it can come from. And some of them are funny, you know, they're funny, huh? You just put them where you'd want to see them. So here's where I think I bled through. Yes, I overpainted, overwatered, because you need to water down your paints. I found myself slapping too much, going too thick with the paint, and I had to go back with the water, with water, and spritz it and move it around with the brush to kind of even out so you can see the words. This sail, nice orange. Let's do this. No, I'll cut both of them. Whatever is the most secure for our staff and our patrons, of course. So we got, okay, actually this is the hardest part, is getting a hole through the center. So I've got my button, and I've crisscrossed it like I sewed it, and I'm going to pull them through, I hope. Let's see, we want this one comes there, that one like that, and one of these is longer than the other, but I'm going to tighten it, and twist, and twist. No, I think no, let's do this. So I don't want a huge hole, but it doesn't have to be crazy neat because the button should cover up most of it. Now, I've done it with scissors, but this time I got a sharp knife to go through the center. Oh yes, way much better than my dull scissors, that's for sure. Just be careful, and you know, children, supervision. That'll do her. And get it to the back. And once you get your button through, you can either tape it down to secure it. This one I left open, I think, to do like a brad. That one I just twisted in the back. So I think maybe this one, we'll try just twisting it like that. It doesn't really matter because you know what we'll do next to get this nice little rustic look. We gotta crinkle it up. So we take it and just do this. Try not to tear anything. There we go. And we crinkle. And then I ended up. These I made with watercolors. And these were acrylic, and you can actually tell the difference because these are a little stiffer. The paper's stiffer. Either that or I got it much wet. I think it's the paint. Squish. Squish. All that neatness really doesn't matter. And you can twist it, and if you see any parts that you feel is not right, although I don't think there is any not rightness, I do kind of like having a little handle. You can also like see this blue is good, although it looks good like that. Oh, okay, that red. So yeah, I'm gonna do the yarn balls still, and I have a mason jar collage candle holder. Mason jars are good for candles because you know you can pressure can stuff in it. So why not melt the candle? Probably the safest glass you can use for a homemade craft using a candle. Not making a candle, just oh, nice red. Just kind of. I'm just gonna start it this way, I think, and just to put a candle into light. These are my little centers. I'm doing a bunch of them just so I can get my variety of colors, my choices. I tried to just do a lot of pages, but you know, we only have so many colors. And I think if you were doing too much mixing, you might, the problem there might end up being that it just gets really black because of the newsprint. Then you know, if you go too, you gotta be careful with the water and the newsprint. Sometimes it'll start, you'll see it starting to tear away. I'm just kind of gonna back off with the wetness. So I think we got a nice red one. I think we'll go with purple and green. The last one I have green. Fallen green. And I'll save these for others. And I think I'm gonna try this smaller brown button to just see how that works. My little white, baggy ties. Yeah, if you push it, if you want the double crossed button look, if your buttons, see, the smaller buttons will have only 2 holes. I think all these larger ones will have 4. for stability on your pants. Don't mind me, I'm getting silly. And you have to work it through. Okay. There we go. Here's the center of the button. And I'm going to kind of squish those together. And again, with my super duper sharp knife. And not directly on my cable. And you can see it coming through. And it's easy as that. And this time I'm just gonna twist them around to each other a little bit. And leave it like that in case I want to do something with it. And the fun part. Squish, 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 squish. And my individual squishes. This. Like that. Yep. And a little turn. Nice. This one is coming out really nice. Squish. All right. Oh. Button. So I don't know what you could do with a bunch of these. And that's kind of nice having different mediums, like color, watercolors and acrylic. This one has more of a older, rusticier. Is that a word? I don't know. More rustic feel. Well, it's softer and it's, I don't know, but I probably like this better. I would just need to get a bunch of watercolors. I tried it with Sharpies and getting them wet, and it didn't really come out very good. And the watermarks were obvious. So that was that. Here, not in front of me instead of all the cut up paper. That is that, and I'll put this on the website or on WCTV, and I will see you soon for something else.